Well. What do we have here? Apparently, there's been rumors left and right. I heard this, I saw that. And there was a rumor earlier this morning that Justin Fields unfollowed the Chicago Bears. And at face value, it sounded like it might have been something, but now it seems like it's not quite what people thought it was because apparently he never followed the Bears on IG. And he's still currently following them on Twitter. So there's a lot of, he say, she say behind the scenes. There's a lot of squirmy uncomfortableness that's going on. And it's probably leading to Justin Fields getting his ass out of Chicago, where he belongs. Personally, I think this experiment is done. Justin Fields is trash. He's a great running back. He ain't no NFL quarterback. That's for damn sure. But let's listen to what the talking heads have to say on Pro Football Talk, shall we? Let's dig it.
Will continue to be a focal point for anyone paying attention to the National Football League as the Bears try to figure out what they're going to do at the quarterback position. Albert Breer reported yesterday that the Bears expect to have their plan in place by next week. Now, when I look at that, I can't help but wonder if they hope to have their plan in place by next week, does that mean they're going to try to trade the first overall pick? Because how can you make a final decision about Justin Fields if you haven't made a final decision about who you would draft with the first overall pick? And how do you have that hay in the barn during the week of the scouting combine? That's the beginning of the final effort to figure out which of the quarterbacks you want, and is this the guy that we're going to use the first overall pick on? How do we feel about him? We haven't done our due diligence. So at some level, the notion that the Bears expect to have a plan in place by next week suggests that the plan is keep Justin Fields and trade the pick, just like they did last year when they used the scouting combine as the way to lay the foundation for the eventual trade that sent the first overall pick to the Carolina Panthers. So now that I've read that and thought about it and written about it and slept on it, I kind of wonder whether the hint there is they're looking to trade the first overall pick, as Sims and I have said they should do, as DJ Moore, receiver they got when they traded out of that top spot last year, believes they should do. Keep Justin Fields.
I'll tell you right now, if they do this shit, if they keep Justin, listen closely to all you Fields fanboys, fuckboys, you Justin sexuals. Listen here. I keep hearing you guys say how much help Justin needs. There's not enough pieces around him. He can't do anything. He has bad coaching, this and that. This is the reason he's been playing bad. Well, guess what? The Bears are approaching a situation where they're going to have to pay Justin Fields starter quarterback money. The going rate is around 30 million a year, 40 million a year. So if he doesn't have any help, like you guys say is the problem, he doesn't have any help. When the Bears have to pay him starters quarterback money, that's going to create holes in the team again. So if he's having a hard time carrying a team right now with holes in the team, then when he gets paid, which the side effect will be creating holes in the team, he can't carry the team now. What makes you think he'll be able to carry the team then? You guys are talking out of both sides of your ass. You sound stupid. Pro Football Talk. Pro football idiots. Well, it looks like it's leaning towards the Bears keeping Justin Fields. If that's the case, Ryan Poles needs to be fired immediately, expeditiously. Not in a roundabout way. Kevin Warren needs to walk up in his office and say, hey, man, get out. Just get out. You don't know what you're doing. You have a hard time making the tough decisions. Get out. I need somebody with brass balls that's not afraid to make the tough decisions. It's not afraid to make everybody cry because their folk hero is being shoved out the door. Boo-hoo-hoo. You know how them kids, when you was a kid, you start crying, you got the bubble snot all on your face, looking like a ugly looking munchkin. That's how these Justin fans are going to be when he gets traded. Because that's the right thing to do. Now, if Ryan Poles falls to the ignorance of the mob, a.k.a. the Justin stands out there, too busy eating the toe jam out of Justin's feet, worshiping the ground, he, like this dude walks on water or something. What the hell is wrong with y'all? Y'all got mental issues if you can't understand what the big play is here. Oh, he doesn't have any help. Well, once he gets paid, once again, he's not going to have any help because of something called the salary cap. Free agency. Guys want to get paid. So they're going to be leaving. So once again, it's going to be a team with a lot of holes, of which he's having a hard time carrying a team with a lot of holes right now. So it puts us back on a carousel, back on in this unending cycle of bad quarterback play because he can't carry the team. Because like you guys always say, he needs more help. Well, he can't get more help because he's taking up 70%, 75% of the salary cap, as does starting quarterbacks in today's NFL. That's the going rate. Most of the money goes to the quarterback. So you're just putting yourself in a trick bag. Like Kurt Warner said, don't make the same mistake the Giants made, paying Daniel Jones, and now look at them. They strapped with a quarterback that sucks because they assumed he was going to blossom into something else with quote-unquote good coaching, which is another stupid argument you Justin Sexuals always come up with. Oh, he needs good coaching, and he needs players around him. He needs this. He needs that. He needs everything to be perfect. And then, all of a sudden, it's time to pay him max money. And once again, everything will not be perfect because there will be a lot of holes on the team, once again, because of free agency. And then what's going to be the excuse then? Oh, we can just go get a quarterback after that. They're not going to be bad enough to get the number one pick. And nobody is going to be stupid like the Carolina Panthers giving away a star wide receiver and their number one draft pick the following year. Nobody's going to make that mistake again. They look at how dumb Carolina looks right now. Nobody wants to take their place as the dummy. Nobody. And I tell you one thing, if it's going in a direction that this dude is talking about right here, the Bears are in serious trouble. They are going to be in, just like in the NBA, when you're in the middle to where you can't win a championship and you're not bad enough to get the number one pick to get a blue chip foundational player, you're just stuck in purgatory. That's where the Bears are going to be. They're going to be a habitual 500 team, maybe one or two games under 500. Not in a position to get the number one pick anymore. They've had the chance 2 years in a row, And they passed it up last year, giving Justin a chance to prove himself, and he didn't prove shit. And you mean to tell me Ryan Poles is going to do the same goddamn thing this year? You mean to tell me he's going to pass up the chance to draft a quarterback number 1 again this year? You see what C.J. Stroud did, tearing up the league, threw for over 4,000 yards. The Bears, as an organization, has never had a quarterback throw for 4,000 yards plus. Never. So you pass up that guy to stick with this running back pretending to be a quarterback. And now you mean to tell me you're going to pass up the chance to draft a quarterback number 1? Whether it's Caleb Williams, Drake May, Jaden Daniels, whoever it is, you have to take that swing right now. You need to knock the shit out of that pinata and swing as hard as you can, Ryan Poles, because if you don't and you decide to stick with Justin Fields again, your ass deserve to get fired. Just like, I forgot the receiver's name for USC. Was it Brendan Rice? Just like he said, you pass on Caleb Williams if you want to. Enjoy getting fired. Enjoy losing your job. And that's the time I'm on right now. If this is even remote. See, right now everything is speculation and everybody putting tea leaves together and trying to read this and that, and all sounds like minutia. Just, it's like taking a boat and trying to pedal upstream in a river of snot. Very hard to do. Let's finish listening to what this idiot is talking about.
Fields, trade the first overall pick, get more players, get more help, make your team better, and see what.
Man, shut up. We saw how that worked out for the 49ers in the Super Bowl. Oh, get more players around Brock Purdy. He doesn't need to be the best player on his team. He can just fit in. You could just slide him into a spot. All the position players on offense at the skill positions, of which are interchangeable. They can all play multiple skill positions. Line up in a slot, line up on the X. They all have multiple skills, multiple formations, lots of motion before the snap. All this dilly-dally trickery. And what happened? Patrick Mahomes still beat that ass. Find the guy at quarterback. If there's still a question after 3 fucking years, obviously he's not the guy.
Justin Fields' ceiling in the NFL is going to be. I don't know what they're going to do.
He's already reached the ceiling. What are you talking about, dude? What are you talking about? He's reached the ceiling already. He had 3 years to get to his ceiling. His ceiling is his floor. He ain't going no farther no more.
We'll know when they decide to let us know. But there's 2 strong schools of thought. Take Caleb Williams and trade.
Your school of thought is stupid.
Justin Fields, or keep Justin Fields and trade that pick and see what Fields can become and get a bunch of other stuff. And maybe you'll get lucky and you'll trade that first overall pick to a team that will continue to be dysfunctional and bad, and you have
So basically, you're banking on another team making the same mistake that the Carolina Panthers made last offseason. That's the goal, huh? Put all your eggs in that basket. That's what we doing now? Is that what we doing? That's what we doing now, huh?
the first overall pick again next year. That's why they have the first overall.
You know how lucky you have to be for things to shake out the way it did. Plan it right, make it look like you're not tanking, even though everybody kind of knows that you are. Make sure you have the worst record so you're in position to get the number one pick. And then to make a trade with another team whose GM has an air bubble for a brain, and then you swindle them out of a number one receiver at that. You know how rare that haul was last year that the Bears got? And you expect them to be able to do that again after the whole league saw how stupid that trade was? But you betting on it happening again. Somebody else in the league is going to be just as dumb. So that's the plan we need to go on? That's the plan we going on? And when all that shit don't work, and it won't work, this is the first time, last year was the first time the Bears have ever held the number one draft pick, the number one overall pick in a draft. If I'm not mistaken, last year was the first time. And then to turn around and have it again the next year, and you just going to pass up on these quarterbacks? Like, well, we found our guy? So I guess a Super Bowl winning quarterback, Super Bowl MVP in Kurt Warner, I guess he don't know what the hell he talking about then, huh? Even he said it's time to move on. If you have these questions after 3 years, then he is what he is, because that's your answer right there. He's not going to get any better. He's trash. Justin Fields is trash. He's a good running back. He ain't no damn quarterback. Let's finish listening into this stupidness.
Overall pick this year. It's the first round pick that was part of the package that allowed them to move out of number one in 2023. So we'll see. We'll see. And it may be that the Bears just have an open mind and they'll wait and see what the best offer is. What's the best offer for Fields? What's the best offer for the first overall pick? Once we know what our options are, then we'll make.
At this point, I don't give a damn what the best offer is for Fields. You could trade Justin Fields for a bag of Doritos. I don't care. Get him the hell out of Chicago, period.
A selection, that we're not tied to any one thing, that it's driven in large part by the return on the investment. And one last point on this, and I think I
all your points are fucking stupid.
Mentioned this in the item that we wrote last night, the notion that multiple teams talked to the Bears about Fields at the Senior Bowl. I'm not going to begrudge anyone the opportunity to try to create a little blurb, and, you know, it's what we do. It's part of the business that we're in, but
you sound like your brain is a blurb. Anybody that thinks that Justin Fields is the answer after actually watching the games, not bits and pieces and little small morsels of a game, a great play here and there. No, his overall body of work, the inconsistency, game in and game out. If you can take a look at all of that and still say, without a shadow of a doubt, hey, that's the guy you need to roll with. Everybody that says that, you're all a bunch of idiots.
It's only really news if people aren't making those calls, because that's part of what executives do all the time. You want to see what it would cost. Doesn't mean you want Justin Fields. You're doing your due diligence.
Justin Fields got the best job in the NFL right now, because nobody blames him for anything. Nothing is ever his fault. It's always somebody else's fault. Oh, it's the coaches. Oh, it's the offensive line. Oh, there's no receivers. Oh, only one receiver. Nothing is ever his fault. Oh, the defense is bad. Let's blame somebody else. Who else can we blame other than Justin Fields? This is almost like the coat that follows LeBron James everywhere. Nothing is ever LeBron's fault either. But at least LeBron has some semblance of some talent. This dude is a great runner. He ain't no damn quarterback.
Identifying all your options. What do the Bears want for Justin Fields? Oh, okay, now we know. No, thank you. Or, maybe Justin Fields is the answer to our question at the quarterback position. But you don't know.
Justin Fields is the answer to whoever wants a bag of Doritos, because that's his trade value. Give up a bag of Doritos, we'll give you Justin Fields. That's what I would trade him for.
No, unless you ask. And that happens all the time with any player who could be traded, with any draft pick that could be dealt. You have to make the phone calls. You have to have the conversations so you know what your alternatives are. It really should only be eye-popping if someone isn't getting the phone calls, if the conversations aren't happening, because that would suggest that people, for whatever reason, aren't doing the thing that they always do.
That was a bunch of bullshit. The Justin Fields worship is indeed the problem with this fandom. And even the mainstream talking heads who, when you listen to them talk, they are blatantly out of town stupid. But hey, I'm sure I'm not the only one that has this eerie, irritating, like a rash on your nerve, a rash growing on your nerves, that the Bears are going to screw this whole thing up by keeping Justin Fields. And it'll be 20, 30, 40 years from now when they actually get lucky enough to get the number 1 overall pick again. Because Ryan Poles had a chance to pivot and really turn this organization around and have them going in the right direction. But there's a chance he's been infected with the curse of the Bears' idiocracy. Not knowing what the hell they doing at the quarterback position. And if we keep going in this direction and he actually does decide to trade the number 1 pick and keep Justin Fields, he deserves, as soon as he makes that decision, he deserves to get fired. Pack your shit up and get out of Hallis Hall. That's all I got to say for now. Subscribe to my channel, because I got heat for days when it comes to this shit. Later.